What's up, my melanated people, and welcome to the Naturally Dope Show with the handsome CEO, your boy Drew. So today I got a special guest with me, my boy. I'm gonna let him introduce himself to y'all.
What's going on? My name is Fred, man. How y'all doing? Some people call me Fredro.
That's why you want to say, tell us some more about you.
To my brand?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
come on.
Man, my name's Fred. You know what I'm saying? I represent the Billionaire mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mind.
That's the key to life, to have an open mind and think big and the vision of yourself of being successful. So I'm just here to support my brother, and on this podcast, we're going to give y'all some good advice today. So listen up and pay attention.
Yup. So today we're going to have a special session talking about what are 3 things that we are tell our younger selves. So we're going to get into it. Without further ado, let's go ahead. So for me, my first thing that I would tell my younger self is to trust my intuition the first time. So a lot of people they might refer to intuition as something different. They might say, it's their gut feeling, or, spiritually, you might refer to it another way. But long story short, it's something that from the inside tells you to do something or don't do something. So I learned the hard way, more or less, that there's some times where I probably should have listened to that voice that I heard, and it ended up not costing me something, but teaching me a lesson. Because at the end of the day, it really depends on how you react or how you respond to the things that occur to you in life. You know what I mean? Like, things may not always go the way that you expected to go, but we got to learn that a lot of that stuff is part of our own decisions. The choices that we make lead us down the path that we're going down. So it maybe if I would have listened to that intuition in some of those situations, things might be different for me. But at the end of the day, I had to learn a lesson, and I had to choose to figure out what it was from that I could take and move forward. And so now it's like, at this point, I'm like, I learned that lesson enough times. Like, I ain't gonna be in that situation no more. I'm not gonna be. I know that when I hear that, I need to do something about it. I need to do the right thing. Right. You know what I mean? Because that can cost you. You feel me?
It's kind of like that hot stove your mom always told you about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like something where it's just like, you just know, like something like the remember when we went to Shisha? Right. And we both heard like, hey, we don't need to be here no more. We need to go.
Crazy story, man. When you feel energy and it's just collide, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you feel it, and some people feel things and they avoid it, and sometimes that avoid can put you in a lot of messed up predicaments that you don't want to be in.
For real.
But if you feel it and you go off that gut feeling and go and shoot, that night we did that. It was a terrible incident happened that night.
Yeah.
And it's just about a grace, we had our what word?
Intuition.
Intuition. No, we took off.
Yeah, and it was the thing about it, even more so on that, is like it was separate. Like, we didn't talk about it. Like, I didn't tell him like, hey, we need to go. I just had this feeling like something ain't right. Like, it's time to go. So I hit him up like, we need to go, and he came to me. And we ran into each other because we was in different parts. You know what I mean?
So we came 5 feet away from each other.
Yeah, we came to each other like, bro, it's time to go. You was like, you feel that too? You're like, yeah. It's like, yeah, we need to get up out of here. So we ended up, finding the rest of our boys and sliding out. And next thing we know, the next day, something happened. And it was like, so we ain't need to be there. You know what I mean? So that's one of them situations where you gotta listen the first time. So that's my first one.
Right, and if you somewhere having a good time, you smiling, you enjoying yourself, that's what you're supposed to do. If you have to go somewhere and turn on a mug or keep your guard up, you don't need to be around us.
For real.
Like, that's not a place that you need to be at. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes places like that end up to be, a bad place to be at.
For real, we ain't gotta go into detail. You know what we mean.
Right. So that's that same incident, we can apply that to giving that to our younger self, because we could have been in high school, football games, middle school, basketball games, anything of that, topic. You can be somewhere and you feel some certain thing, but you with your boys and you feel like, oh, everything will be okay. Anything can happen, That's the same, like, you just gotta go with that feeling that you have in yourself, and you don't need to have validation for other people to go. If you feel it, you let them know and you go.
Because Another thing about that is your intuition is coming from the inside.
Right.
And so yourself, the inside of you is always going to look out for your best interests. You know what I mean? And so if you don't listen to that, you're not trusting yourself. You're not believing in yourself. You're not thinking like, maybe I should listen to myself because I want to, this wants the best for me. If you don't listen to that, you might listen to other people that might tell you what they think is best for you. You know what I mean? So people don't always have your best interest in mind. So what they telling you, you put in more trust in what they telling you versus what you hearing from yourself.
And what you know.
Exactly. So it's like that causes people a lot of problems. We already know too many people listen to different things that don't come from inside. They come from the outside. That's what thoughts is. Thoughts come from external. They don't come from the inside. That's why they be like, guard your mind, protect your mind, protect your melody.
And what do I always say? It's okay to receive information. You don't have to take it in.
Exactly.
That's two things. Receiving it, you listen it, understand it. Okay, you move forward. Taking it in is bothering you, your spirit. Now it's turning your train of thinking of what you know. Now you're going off how you feel. And sometimes feelings is just a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to react on everything that you hear and everything that somebody say to you. And sometimes a lot of people out here, they get that kind of mixed up sometimes. It's okay to receive information. Just don't take it in.
Exactly. So that's my first point. So we're gonna slide to Fred's first point.
Well, my first point is, I'm gonna keep it plain and simple. Save. Save. That's what I would tell my younger self back in the day. And just doing certain things, earning $5, earning $10, we used to cherish that and we used to put that to the side. Now the first $20 we get, we throw it out the window. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about taking ownership, all about taking responsibility. Even though you might not have no responsibility, but your life is your responsibility. So if you take that in and you want to have certain things when you get into middle schools, I mean, we all know when we get to a certain age, we don't want what our mom and daddy buys. Did you?
Yeah.
I definitely. What? Man, I ain't
all the time. Sometimes,
I'm not saying you have to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you like what you like sometimes. And sometimes them LA Gears wasn't one that really was popular. You feel me? You had wanted some Nikes. You know what I'm saying? Or some Soldier Reeds. You feel me? You feel better. You know what I'm saying? And then, but you can do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just about when you have the ins and outs, raking the yard, taking out the trash, washing the car, washing the dishes. You can take that and just say, at the end of the day, you got a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back, and you got food on the table. You know what I'm saying? So just take, just take responsibility and try to make sure that you guide yourself and make the right decisions. Because it's okay to spend your money on your V-Bucks. I know kids out there love them little V-Bucks. Y'all some sneaker heads. That's what y'all call yourselves. But sometimes just take a step back and say, you know what? Let me help my mom out. Let me help my dad out, and just put this to the side and buying the small things for myself, for they don't have to feel like they're trying to do everything for me, and I can show them that I'm growing up and I'm being responsible.
Yeah, and going off of that, not to get too deep, but it's kind of like we all gotta treat ourselves like a business, personally as a business. When you have relationships with people, not to say that they need to be business relationships, but you gotta understand that you gotta protect yourself first. Your interests are more important first, not to be selfish, but if you don't do that, you're gonna suffer. Like if a company was more worried about the people that they do business with versus themselves, they're gonna go under. Then they have to go bankrupt and they have problems. So if you always giving, invest in other people, but not investing enough to make sure that your company is straight, that you're not straight, you're gonna have problems. Mentally, physically, emotionally, you're gonna be consistently damaged. And when you consistently damaged, you know what happens? You end up doing things that you don't need to be doing. And that causes you a lot of issues. So you gotta make sure that you protect yourself and invest in yourself, so that when it comes to money, you gotta make sure that you putting the money in the right places where it needs to be. Sometimes now we in the age where investing is real easy. You get a little bit of money, you got Cash App, boom, boom, put money in. You can invest money that way. You got Robinhood, you got all these different options. So it's like there's ways where even when you young, you can still be making money. You know what I mean? Don't think because you got a certain age, you can't do something. People can make money at any point.
Any point. I started making when I was 13 years old, throwing newspaper.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a grown man job. So at the end of the day, I did what I had to do, but I wanted to do that. I was up for the challenge. And one thing about being a kid, we don't have too many challenges that we really take serious. But sometimes them challenges that come to us in our life, in our younger life, is to really to have an output on when we get older. And sometimes, like if I was a kid that didn't take that serious, I probably wouldn't have no work ethic. I probably wouldn't have a drive to get up every morning and try to do something and try to be something, because I overlook an opportunity who could have started me to get me ready for my future.
Yeah.